Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Wednesday, November 3rd. I've got a great video for you today. There's new $10,000 grants available. Approximately 300 of them are available. I'll talk about who's eligible, how to apply, and what else is included with this. I'll mention a few other grant and loan opportunities, plus the quick update on the social policy package. Paid leave is getting added back in. I'm not optimistic that this will get passed in the next few days, but I'll give a quick update there. The biggest news when it comes to the economy is that the Fed agreed on a plan today to dial back bond purchases to end the stimulus measures by June. They're going to start tapering it slowly, part of the transition to wean off the stimulus and to ease inflation. Inflation is the big problem everyone in the country is facing. We're all dealing with that. There's a plan in place that will hopefully slow down that high inflation. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our community, turn on alerts to get first access to our daily videos. We're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Wouldn't it be great if you could say you were part of the first 100,000 in the Skip community? And if you appreciate this research we're doing, give this video a like so others see it as well. I'll start with the $10,000 grants. As many of you may know, on the Skip website and app, we do a twice weekly roundup of new grants, new loans that could help you, whether you're an entrepreneur, small business, independent contractor, whatever the case may be. If you want to become a member, I'll leave a link to that in the description. We posted these on Monday, so some of you have already had a head start. 10K grants for restaurants, 50K grants for Black-owned businesses, 10K grants for all businesses. This is what I'm going to talk about today. 50K grants for restaurants in select cities, 25K grants for women of color, and state and local level grants as well. The big one here is through LegalZoom. According to them here, they've teamed up with the NBA, WNBA, NBA G League to assist communities by helping small businesses. LegalZoom is committing $6 million in grants and services to help small business owners who need better access to funding and legal advice. So it's a bit of both here. They have the grants and services. Of course, some of LegalZoom's main services are helping businesses incorporate, whether an S Corp, C Corp, LLC. It's often a good way to get started. I remember my first company, actually it's this first company, Pogo Ride, I did through LegalZoom. That was about 8 years ago. Since then, we've gone with other lawyers, but it's not a bad way to get started. And it's a good fund they've put together. Their goal is to change the game for small business owners and remove the barriers often faced by minorities, women, immigrants, and members of the LGBTQ plus community. So they've put up $3 million in $10,000 grants. So if you do the math, that means there's 300 $10,000 grants available, $3 million in services, and they hope to help over 5,000 small businesses. The deadline is in November. It's about 3 weeks away. That's why I'm taking the time to share this with you today. Here's how it works. So starting at NBA tip-off, the first of 6 grant cycles will open this multi-year program. So we're now in the first phase. It opened up on October 14th. You have until November 23rd. What they're going to do in this first round, $10,000 grants and 500 in LegalZoom services. That should be enough to get incorporated to 50 small businesses. So they're going to stretch this out 50 at a time until they get to that 300 number. They'll also give $500 in LegalZoom services to an additional close to 1,000 businesses. So there's a lot of help there. Here's the eligibility. It's pretty broad. You must be based in the US, must have been in business for at least 6 months, must have an annual revenue of less than $1 million, very important. Most of you viewing fall into that bucket, and you must not be in one of the prohibited industries. You probably know it if you're in one of those industries. It's a similar list that the SBA puts out as well. By the way, if you need help going through this, you can book a time to talk with us. We will help you directly apply for this. So it's a win-win. We can also help you with your EIDL situation. Go to eidl.me to book times. We just opened up 5 more slots for tomorrow. The link is right below as well. Here's what you'll need: your most recent business tax returns. Most of you have that by now. A copy of your business license or sole proprietorship formation document, a front and back color copy of the business owner's government-issued identification, includes a driver's license or a passport or a permanent resident card, all pages of the most recent business bank statement, a completed W-9 form, and a completed ACH form for the business bank account. And here's the form. There's a handful of questions to go through here. The first 4 are qualifying questions, and then you have to fill out more information such as your name, stuff about your background, your website, your EIN if you have it, how many employees does your business have, and then it's a few fields here. Please provide a brief description of your business and who your business serves. Please tell us what inspired you to start your business. If selected, how would you intend to use the grant funds? Are you interested in receiving a promo code for LegalZoom services? So of course they're trying to get customers here, but they're also giving you an opportunity to get $10,000. So there's some trade-offs. You can decide if it's worth it for you or not. And if you want some tips on how to apply for this, of course, get on the phone with us and use the link below. There's a few more things to upload. You can drop them in right here and then click submit. So not a terribly painful form. Just make sure you check for typos. Your answers are good. It's often a good idea to put answers in a Word document first so you can review, perhaps get a second or third set of eyes to review it on your behalf. It's always good to have a peer review or ask the Skip team to review. There's also FAQs here as well. The link to this is right below. You have until November 23rd to apply for this batch, but it's a good idea to get it in sooner. I don't know if they're going to review early or not, but they may very well start to review as applications come in. Later this week, I'll be talking about more grant opportunities, so be sure you are subscribed. Switching gears to the social policy package, I mentioned yesterday some more moderate Democrats in the House said they would not support the bill until there was a bit more research. But Pelosi said this today, that the paid family leave of 4 weeks is back in the bill. She wrote in a letter today that House Democrats would present an additional set of changes to the legislation today. Democrats have been racing to wrap up negotiations over the package this week, resolving a disagreement on prescription drug pricing on Tuesday as they try to close out their final issues. The thing is, Manchin in the Senate says he continues to oppose the inclusion of paid leave. So even if they pass it in the House and Manchin doesn't like it, it's not going to pass in the Senate. Manchin said this today, quote, he had no idea Pelosi planned to put this measure back in the House legislation. He continued to say it should not be in the reconciliation bill. Democrats have dropped several measures from the bill, including free community college, a program to aim at pushing utilities to generate more clean energy, and a series of top marginal tax rate increases because of the opposition from Manchin and other centrists. I don't want to belabor that because it's back and forth. When I think there's going to be a vote, I will let you know. Or if there are other major proposal changes, I'll let you know too. Okay, here's the big economic news. We talked about this for a few weeks. The Fed finished their meeting today and they have a plan in place to dial back their bond purchases to end the stimulus they've been doing since the start of the pandemic by next June. Here's what the Wall Street Journal says about this. It's a major step toward withdrawing the Fed's aggressive pandemic-driven economic support amid a recent inflation surge. This chart right here kind of shows it all. Look at this. Starting in March 2020, the Federal Reserve's asset holdings skyrocketed, now up to about $8 trillion combined in Treasury securities and mortgage-backed securities. So here's the timeline. Starting this month in November, the Fed will reduce its bond purchases by $15 billion a month. They'll reduce a further $15 billion in December. They'll probably do a similar reduction each month, but they may adapt as necessary based on the economic outlook. So they have some flexibility if they need to dial it up, dial it down, but the plan is to taper it off by next June. Another important point here is that Fed officials don't want to lift interest rates until after they have ended the bond purchases. So for those of you seizing the moment with low interest rates, according to this, for example, if you're looking for a mortgage with record housing prices, those rates may not go up until next year, Q2. Here's another important point. Brisk demand for goods, disrupted supply chains, temporary shortages, and a rebound in travel have pushed 12-month inflation to its highest readings in decades. Core inflation rose 3.6% in September from a year earlier. Powell said last month, supply-side constraints have gotten worse. The risks are clearly now to longer and more persistent bottlenecks and thus to higher inflation. We'll keep an eye on that because that's going to affect everyone in the U.S., whether you're aware of it on a daily basis or not. But as we wrap today, the big news is, of course, these $10,000 grants. 300 in total, 50 up for grabs in this first round. You just need to apply by November 23rd. The link right in the description. Also the link to get one-on-one support if you want help applying for these grants or anything else, including EIDL help. Most importantly, thanks so much for liking this video. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.